Okay guys, let's do scary urban legend. We'll figure out.
Without a scary story in sight, then suddenly the person next to you does the unthinkable. Let's tell some more urban legends, they exclaim. You try to interject, but another friend breaks in. And let's make them even scarier than last time. I'll start. Last time we talked about Bloody Mary, says your friend. But have you all heard of the Candyman? The Candyman legend goes all the way back to the 1800s. A black man.
Sorry, if you hear fire trucks passing by, I'm so sorry, I can't deal with that noise. I can't do nothing about it. This is what you hear in my house every day.
Don't do it, says another. But the third child looks directly into the mirror and says, Candyman, 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 Candyman. On the fifth saying of the name, the undead corpse of the black man who was murdered in the 1800s comes crashing out of the mirror. He has a hook for a hand and bees swarming around him. The kids all run, but the one who said his name is snatched by the hook and murdered by the Candyman. Oh man, you think, now I won't be able to look into a mirror for a while. That was pretty good, says one of your friends. But listen how terrifying this urban legend is. This is the legend of the Bunny Man. His name might sound cute at first, but the legend is anything but. There was once an escaped mental patient who roamed the woods. He broke out of an asylum, but was never caught by the police. All the authorities could turn up were the corpses of brutally murdered bunny rabbits. They knew it must be the escaped patient, but he kept eluding them. He was given the name Bunny Man for his affinity for killing the furry creatures in terrible ways. Eventually, the Bunny Man started getting even more gruesome. People would walk through the forest on nature hikes and come across an old bridge. Hanging from the bridge were the mutilated bodies of the bunnies. A group of kids was curious and wanted to see the bunnies that were strung up under the bridge, so late one night they snuck out into the woods. They came across the bridge, and sure enough, there were the bunnies hanging under. However, when they looked on top of the bridge, they saw a man in a white suit, wearing bunny ears on top of his head. The children shrieked in terror. The next night, a search party was sent out to try to locate the children who had never returned home. The party came to the bridge where the bunnies were normally hanging, except this time, it wasn't just rabbits. That's awful, you cry. We were in the woods and we definitely crossed under some bridges to get here. The friends laugh because they think you're joking, but you're not. I got a good one, declares another member of your group. This one's called the Beijing Ghost Bus. After you hear it, you probably won't want to ride public transportation for a while. It's late one dark and stormy night. A bus driver's making his rounds. Around midnight, the bus driver spots three men flagging him down. He's hesitant to pick them up because they're not at the bus stop, but he figures that since the weather's so terrible, he'll give them a break. The three men enter the bus without a word and head to the back. The bus driver notices they're dressed in clothing that looks like it's from 100 years ago. The men are very pale, but the bus driver just assumes the men are actors from some show. The other passengers on the bus slowly disembark at the next few stops until only a handful of people remain. The three oddly dressed men are standing in the back of the bus. Someone pulls the cord to signal they'll be getting off at the next station. The driver pulls up, and the bus hisses to a stop. The man who pulled the cord hurries off the bus. Once on the sidewalk, he turns around with a frightened look in his face. Those men in the back of the bus are floating above the floor, he says. The bus driver gives him an odd look and closes the door in the crazy man's face. The bus drives off with only the driver and three floating passengers in it. That was the last time anyone ever saw the bus or the bus driver. Ghosts on a bus? You shout. What'll they think of next? Serpents on a jet? Everyone laughs. You shake your head. I think that's enough scary stories for tonight, you say. But one of your friends stands up. Wait, I'm about to tell you one of the most eerie urban legends of all, and it involves a vintage video game. Back in the 80s, people would flock to arcades to get their fill of coin-operated video games. One game in particular was addictive, but had an ominous side to it. The game was called Polybius. Whenever someone would drop a coin into the game and begin playing, they'd feel disoriented. The feeling eventually passed, and the person would continue on. They would become addicted, always thinking about Polybius, always wanting to go another round on the video game. Sometimes men in all black suits would come in and open up the Polybius cabinet as if they were extracting some kind of information from it. Then they would close the cabinet up, let the line of eager players back at the game. Then something even more strange began to happen. The people who played the game started to get amnesia. They couldn't remember who they were or where they were from, only that they wanted to play Polybius. This odd behavior would culminate in an unexplained death of the player. When this happened, the Polybius video game would disappear, but only for a time. Eventually, the all-black cabinet would reappear in another arcade, somewhere far away where the legend of the Polybius video game had not yet been heard. Wow, Thanks a lot. Now I'm afraid to play my own video games, you say as the fire flickers and casts shadows into the forest trees around you. One of your friends rubs his hand together. You've all heard of the genie in the magic lamp, right? But do you know the urban legend of the jinn, which is what the genie's based off of? You look at your friend. You're not going to ruin Aladdin for me, are you? You ask. Your friend just smiles. Deep in the Arabian desert, a man has lost his way. He runs out of water and is severely dehydrated. The man collapses from exhaustion and falls face first into the sand. He manages to pick up his head and look around. In front of him stands a beautiful woman. She holds a jug full of water. The man scrambles to his feet and takes the water from her. He drinks until he almost throws up. How can I ever repay you? Asks the man. The woman removes her face covering to reveal a mouthful of serrated teeth. She contorts her body and changes from a beautiful woman into a terrifying monster, with horns coming out of its head and smoke filling the space around it. The man screams and pleads for mercy. The jinn opens its gaping maw and consumes the man whole. Then it transforms back into the beautiful woman and waits for the next unsuspecting victim to cross its path. You shudder at the thought of the friendly genie from the Disney films being a man-eating monster. Don't be such a scaredy cat, one of your other friends says. Besides, if you think that was bad, wait till you hear this one. Everyone has nightmares about something under the bed, but the body under the bed legend is said to be true. It goes like this. One night a couple is on vacation and they're having the time of their life. They fall asleep after a long day of fun activities. In the middle of the night, they're awoken by a horrible smell. It reeks as if something or someone has died in the room. They try to sleep through it, but can't get past the smell. The couple calls down to the lobby and informs the concierge of the odor. The hotel staff come up to the room and check everywhere for the source of the smell, but they can't find it. The hotel is completely booked, so they do a quick cleaning of the room and spray air freshener. The smell seems to have subsided for now. The next day, the hotel crew takes apart the room looking for the source of the smell. They clean under the bed and all around the room. The smell still lingers. The hotel crew takes the mattress off the bed and unzips the mattress cover. They slide the cover off to unveil a dead body within the mattress cover. The couple had been sleeping on top of the dead body the entire night. That's gross, says everyone around the campfire. Oh, I'm not done yet, says the storyteller. Things are about to get much grosser. This one's called The Licked Hand. One night, a young girl awakens to the sound of dripping water. It's the first time her parents have left her alone all night, while they enjoy a weekend away. However, the girl has her faithful dog to protect her. The night is cloudy, the wind howls. From the bathroom down the hall, the little girl hears a dripping noise. It sounds like the sink hasn't been turned off all the way. She cautiously gets out of bed and makes her way to the bathroom with her dog by her side. She enters and is startled by something moving. She slams her hand hard against the light switch on the wall, and when the light comes on, she laughs to herself. But it's only her reflection in the mirror. The girl checks the faucet, but it's not dripping. She shrugs, turns off the light, and heads back to her room. The girl climbs into the bed and tries to fall back to sleep, but the dripping sound continues. She curls up under the covers and slowly drifts off. The girl's awakened later that night by a nightmare. She reaches down to pet her faithful dog, who licks her hand reassuringly. The dripping sound seems to have gotten louder. The girl squeezes her eyes shut and wills the sun to rise. Eventually, due to the intermittent licks of her trustworthy dog, she falls back asleep. In the morning, the girl wakes up and decides to do a more thorough sweep of the house. She steps out of bed and notices her dog isn't there anymore. She calls out for him, but the dog doesn't come. The girl walks down the hall to the bathroom. The door is shut. She turns the handle and slowly opens it. When she turns on the light, she screeches in horror. In the bathtub lies the remains of her mutilated dog. It's been slaughtered during the night. On the bathroom wall, written in blood, are the words, "Humans can lick hands too." "What's wrong with you people?" you shout. "I'm never going to be able to sleep again." Everyone laughs and reassures you they're just urban legends. None of it's real. But you can't help but feel that all urban legends originated from somewhere. You know, that behind every legend there is a hint of truth. Now check out scary urban legends that'll keep you...
Alright guys, that's all my video how we did today. So, see you on Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Thursday. So, see you then.